p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. Oh yes, we're doing stuffed zucchini tonight. I'm so excited to do this recipe. I can smell the garlic right over here that I've already chopped, anticipating your arrival. But before I do, and before I show you exactly how to do it, which you're gonna love, it's so easy and fun, I'm gonna talk about Sunday, Seed Starting Sunday. So join us this Sunday at 3 p.m. We're gonna do a seed starting class called Seed Starting Sunday, and we're going to plant seeds. The seeds we're going to plant, and you have to go to Home Depot and buy these yourself, you will find them, is green zucchini, which we're making tonight, stuffed zucchini. It did not come out of my garden. I bought them at Whole Foods. We're going to do yellow squash, which is called summer squash, and we're also going to do arugula. And the reason that I chose these seeds for you to start with is because any type of squash seeds look like pumpkin seeds. They're big, they're really easy to work with, and the most amazing miracle of those seeds is that they sprout in about 3 days. Can you imagine? 3 days and you will look and you will be so excited. Hey Heather, thanks for joining us. So this is called a Jiffy Greenhouse. You can find this on nannybubby.com on the Game Changer page. It's the first 3 things that show up is the greenhouse, the soil, and the grow light. So you've got to have all 3 of those. You can get the grow light and the soil. Let me show you the soil. It's the Jiffy Seed Starting Organic Soil on Amazon to be sent to you. You can get it before Sunday if you order now, but the Jiffy Greenhouse you have to get from homedepot.com. And I don't know how quickly they send stuff and how quickly it arrives, but you can always run down to your friendly Home Depot no matter where you live in this country, and you can get a greenhouse, you can get your soil, and you can get your 3 seeds. So do that, get yourself prepared. We are gonna plant seeds and start them. These little things right here, I don't know what you call them, I'm just gonna show you these. They're also at Home Depot. They're called plastic plant labels. And what you're gonna do is write on these, things before you stick them in, exactly what you planted, because in those little square dirt pods, they all look the same. So you want to remember which is what's zucchini, what's yellow, what's arugula. Now, one of the reasons I chose arugula, the seeds, like most lettuce seeds, are like little tiny pinpoints. I mean, you can lose them, and you have to put them on the tip of a piece of wood that's a little bit wet and stick them in. They're really hard to work with. So that's why I chose squash, is because they're much easier to work with for planting. But number 2, the arugula, when you taste your arugula that you have planted and sprouted on your own, it tastes like nothing you have ever tasted before in your life. And that is what sold me on planting my own vegetables, because the flavors and the taste that come out of your own organic Victory Garden is unlike anything. And that's what made me say, I have to do more of this. So anyway, get yourself ready for Sunday, and now let's get you ready for dinner with Nanny Bubby. Today we're making stuffed zucchini. So let me throw this over here, and let me tell you how we're gonna get started. So the first thing I wanna talk to you about is this is sourdough bread, and this recipe, which is an Ina Garden recipe, oops, sorry, my dog is barking. He will stop at some point. Comes right out of her Make It Ahead cookbook. And it's so funny because this Make It Ahead cookbook by Ina Garden is, no matter what recipes of hers I love, somehow they always end up from this book. They are my favorite recipes of all. And this is her stuffed zucchini. I'll show you a picture of it right here. Let me get that into the shot. Oh well, we're gonna make it so you'll see the real thing. But I have replaced a few things in this recipe. Number 1, I start every recipe out, if it calls for sauteing, I do a combination of butter and olive oil. So that's the one thing. I've added unsalted butter into the pot, and we're gonna start heating that up right about now. Okay, whoops. And then the recipe calls for sauteed bread cubes. And the recipe says I can't believe I bought a whole loaf of bread just to tell you this story, so I'm gonna have to freeze it, because I am not going to use this bread. I literally went and said, oh my God, I need to show them what I'm talking about. So and it smells so good. But I am not using it because we are really sensitive to gluten in this house. I'll do it, like there's no doubt I would not eat, oh, my dog is sitting here begging. Oh my gosh. Hey Brenda Mills, how are you? So I will of course eat stuffing during Thanksgiving. I will of course eat Yorkshire pudding during the Christmas holidays. I of course will eat chocolate during Valentine's Day. But on a normal Tuesday night, there you go, thumbs up, thanks guys. On a normal Thursday night, gluten and I usually don't get on so well, and neither for my husband and my son. So you would, under normal circumstances, I use sourdough because sourdough is fermented. The yeast of the sourdough gets fermented, and it's one of the healthiest breads you can eat and lower on gluten. So I just wanted to give you that tip. I also wanted to tell you that you slice off the crust and then you make cubes out of this. And then what you're gonna do is saute this bread in the oil and the butter. However, this is a thought I had. Well, if I didn't use bread, what would I use inside this stuffed zucchini as a substitute for bread? And I walked through the store, and what I found is the crackers. These they're called Flackers. They're seed crackers. These happen to be flaxseed crackers. I think they with rosemary. They have a really good flavor, and I'm going to saute them into this. So with the bread, you're making it crispier, right? You're taking it from soft to hard. I think that sauteing these crackers takes them from hard to a little bit medium soft. So how many of you agree with that? I guess if you're going to do crackers, you want them to get a little softer. Bread, you're wanting to do harder. So this is, I'm going to just, let me tip this over so that you can see this. You know, I tried to connect on Instagram for the last 2 days, and the last 2 days I got, nope, your connection is poor. And I got that error message several weeks ago. And so I am not doing a show on 2 platforms today. So I'm now putting in these sea salt crackers. So we are going, I would crumble them up, and I'm going to crumble them up afterward. But I just don't want to leave the crumbs here in the pot. So I think that's enough. So it's a combination of flaxseed crackers and rosemary and Flackers with sea salt. Got that? Okay. So now let's talk about the zucchini. So before you got here, I had to do some work, and the work is I took these zucchinis and I cut off the ends and I boiled them for 8 to 10 minutes, just till they were soft enough to put a pick down in the middle of. That's how I tested them. I used these skewers, these wooden skewers, which look like, I don't know, cake testing or shish kebabbing from them, and I just pushed them through, and that's how I knew that these were ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these, cut them in half. There we go. And I am going to use, let's get this one as well. I let these cool so that you can handle them. Okay. These are cutting very nice. We'll start with these 4, and I'll show you what we're going to do. This is a grapefruit spoon, and by grapefruit you know because this edge is serrated, and the point of the spoon is actually a point. And what you're going to do is you're going to dig in. Let me help you see this. Can you see it? Give me a 1 if you can see it. And we're just going to scrape out all of this. And I love using this particular breadboard or whatever because it's mobile. And when all of this, can you see that? Yep. Okay, great. We're going to stick this into this baking dish right here. So as I do it, I'm going to line them up right here. I have to put it to the side because there's just not enough room for all this. Okay, let me get you over here so you can see a little. I'm trying to get you a little bit closer. How's that? Is that good? Yes, it is. Okay, there we go. All right. So these crackers are softening just a little bit. They're starting to sizzle. Okay, so on to the next. Right here. It smells good. Those crackers sauteing a little bit smells really good. See how easy that is? There we go. Into the tray. Another one. Now tonight I am serving this with ground turkey, with onions, garlic, and bell peppers and mushrooms. And you know, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I could have used that to actually stuff in the zucchini. And I could have, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big pot of the sauteed turkey, and then I am going to place these beautiful stuffed zucchinis right on top of the turkey. And then I am going to just serve it like that. So everybody will get a big spoonful of turkey and a stuffed zucchini, and it's going to be fantastic. So see how easy this is right now? I'm just going to take this whole plate of this, and I'm going to take it and just throw it right down into the garbage and move on to the next zucchini. So here we go. So here we are. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so we've got, I think we've only got room for 2 more. So the other one I'll just do later and set it aside. So let's skin this out. So how many of you, I'm just trying to ask you a couple of questions here. I want to thank those of you who answered the survey that Nanny Bubby put out. Really appreciate that. Gave me a lot of great input. And I want to say thank you for that. Into the pot. Okay. Boy, you can smell these seed crackers. I'll show them to you in just a minute. I want to just kind of test them. Okay, that's all hollowed out. See that? Isn't that great? Okay, into the garbage can. I'm going to let you take a quick peek at how these seed crackers look. There we go. Sorry to lift you up like that, but here we go. Okay, there we go. All right, give me a second here. So those are sauteing away and they're softening. You just don't want them to soften too much. So let's grab a bowl right over here, and let's take these. Let's see how they are. Yeah, they added some great flavor into this. I wonder if we should just flip them over. Yeah, look at that. They're sizzling away in the butter and the olive oil. Look. Let's just turn this up a little bit. See if we can get it to sizzle just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Does that look good? And we don't want them to get too soft. We just wanted to add a little bit of flavor to these seed crackers, because sometimes seed crackers can be very dry tasting. And mostly seed crackers are meant to be vegan, but we are earth-friendly and very sensitive, there's a word for it, humane carnivores, right? Like, we will not eat anything that is not raised healthy, or that isn't grass-fed for beef, that isn't truly free-range or from a farm we can identify as chicken. I have a dream that I'm going to go to Utah and pick out my cow and then eat the cow, which sounds maybe inhumane, but I really feel like cows know their purpose on this earth, and if I can look my cow in the eye and he can look me in the eye, and I know that we have a connection, then I feel like I could eat him. And so that just, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I don't want to eat cows whom I don't know, how they lived, how they grazed. Just, I really want to know what I eat. So anyway, just a little philosophy there. How about any of you? You feel that way? Or do you think I'm crazy that I would look my cow in the eye? So, okay, so we're taking this out. Taking it out. We'll let it, it's got lots of good flavor. We're going to crumble this into the mixture as they cool down. Take them out here. And into this great flavor from the crackers, the seeds, and the butter, and the olive oil, we are going to put the following. We are going to put in, oops, let me get that out. Okay, we don't want the butter to burn, so we gotta hurry with this, but they are difficult to pick up, as you can see. Okay, all right. So we are going to add the scallions and the garlic. Let me turn this down because it is starting to burn. Right into the bowl. There we go. Give that a whisk around. We are going to add 1.5 cups of tomatoes. So this is my favorite way to do tomatoes. And I do want to say that everything that we've done today, of course, we've watched in our food grade hydrogen peroxide. So this is the peroxide I use. You can find this on the Game Changers page of Nanny Bubby if you want to get it from Amazon. So here's all the tomatoes, and they're beautiful. They're heirloom tomatoes. They've got a beautiful color. I get these at Whole Foods. They are called Wild Wonders, which I love that name. So we're going to take these tomatoes. I don't want this to burn. So I'm going to turn it off. And we are going to load up this tomato slicer, which I love, and I know you all love it too. You can find these also on Amazon, and I think these are in the Game Changer page too. So here, let me put just a little bit more. There we go. And so, there we go. So last night's dinner was absolutely delish. I have to tell you, you have to make that recipe. You really, really do. That recipe, the chicken thighs with, oh my gosh, what was it with? Somebody tell me, what was it with? Chicken thighs, braised chicken thighs with tomatillos. Oh my gosh, I have never cooked with tomatillos before, and I was duly impressed. Those tomatillos were easy to work with, easy to clean, easy to peel the husk off of. Easy to bring flavor into a food, so well mixed with jalapenos, thicken the sauce. As they cook down, they thicken the sauce, which I thought was amazing. Okay, there we go. Now, because there's so much red in that, I'm just going to reach down and grab only the yellow tomatoes here, because I want to add some beautiful color to this, and maybe an heirloom dark tomato. I love these too. Aren't those beautiful? I absolutely love those. And we're going to take these and we are going to slice them and into the pot. Okay. That's it for now. I'll just set all these over here and turn this back on. Okay. And we are going to cook this down. So while this is cooking down, and we'll stir it around, I'm going to talk to you about Parmesan cheese just one more time. So this calls for 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese in here, as well as some salt and pepper. So let me grab the salt and pepper, which I forgot to pull, but you know, sometimes you forget to pull things when you're doing a live show. But so here we go. We're going to put in about a teaspoon of salt, and remember, the higher you sort of sprinkle your salt, the more control you have. Don't ask me why, but if you try to do it lower, it doesn't work out so well. And we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. There we go. So good. All right, so let's talk about this Parmesan cheese. As you know, my pet peeve is never, ever, 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 ever buy ground, already shredded Parmesan cheese. Why? Well, believe it or not, they put stabilizers in all ground Parmesan cheese. Even the cheese at Whole Foods actually has stabilizers and other things in it. And why? Because it keeps the Parmesan cheese from sticking together. The weird thing is, who decided that the American public would not buy grated Parmesan cheese if there were clumps of cheese in it? Because all you have to do is take your fork, whisk it around, and it unclumps. I know this because I make my own, right? So I want to once again show you how easy it is. Look at how this is cooking down. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Turn it down one more because we're going to grate this Parmesan cheese over here. And look at these sea crackers. Those look beautiful, right? Smell amazing. We're going to crumble them in there. But let me take you over here, or let me bring over the there we go. So let's talk about this Parmesan cheese, if we will. So right over here, what we have, there we go, is a food processor. If you can see this, I'm not sure if you can. Let me turn it just a little bit more. You know, I'm being a cameraman, a host, a cook. Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed, and I'm glad that Instagram didn't connect today, I guess, because there's a lot to do. So this is a wedge of fresh Parmesan cheese, as you can see. So I'm just going to cut the rind off. I'm going to keep this rind for later to put into pasta sauces or, hey Nancy Cleveland, how are you? You love this, so I'm glad you love this, and I love you back, so thank you so much. You're going to take this rind, and I'm going to use this rind for your, I'll freeze it, and I'll use it on soups. I will use it on pasta sauces. You just take the rinds of the Parmesan and just throw them right in, and it adds an amazing flavor. So I'll set that aside, and then I'm just going to square off. Let's cut it in the long ways. Whoop. There we go. Cut it that way. And then I'm simply just going to cut this in cubes, like this. There we go. Just something to give the blade in the food processor a little bit of help. There we go. Can you see that okay? I'm not sure that you can. Let me trade and get off of the whiteboard there. You can see that better. Okay, so right down the middle here so that it's cubed, and we're going to make cubes also right out of this. Just slice them up. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is throw this in. Now, take a listen to how easily that you, number one, not only are you listening for this to be complete, and you'll be able to hear it once it's complete, but you'll see how easy it is. There was a wedge. I just sliced it. That took about 2 minutes. Let me drop this through the feed too. We'll have an extra couple pieces. Now when this starts out, you'll hear it clumping around. You think that the whole thing's going to take off and fly through the room. But then it starts to soften and quiet, and when it does, you know your cheese is done. So ready? Here we go. That is, if you heard it go from like getting ready to take off on a runway to just quieting down, that's how you know it's ready. So who heard that? Give me a 2 if you heard that. Give me a 2. Right? Let me know if you heard that. So we're going to put in about 2 heaping tablespoons of Parmesan cheese right over here. Let me take you with me as I come back to this. Okay, there we go. Everybody's got thumbs up coming in. Okay. So, 1, 2. I think I'm going to put 1 more in. Okay, Teresa, there you are. How are you? That is so fun. Teresa and I realized we had a friend in common the other day, right, Teresa? I don't know if you answered me back, but I answered you. Okay, so let me just give this a stir around. So. That's it. This is, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look how colorful. It's so fresh. When they talk about eating the rainbow, this is it. Okay, now we are going to take these seed crackers, or if you decided to use sourdough bread and cube it, which I bought this whole loaf of sourdough bread just so I could say, we're not eating it, I'm going to have to freeze it. But slice off the crust, and then cut the white portion into cubes and throw it into your sauce or your butter and oil. Okay, which is crazy. Can you imagine? I went and bought a whole loaf of bread just to say that to you. Okay, so, all right, here we go. I'm going to take these crackers, and let me turn this off. I am just going to crack these in, which they're not cracking so easily, so maybe what I'll do is cut them, right? You have to be intuitive about this. So, yep, there we go. Cut them. Can you see that okay? There we go. Now these have been flavored for those of you who tuned in a little bit late. These have been flavored in olive oil and unsalted butter. And you put them in because it adds a lot of crunch to what you're stuffing with. Look at that, so beautiful. Let's grab another stack of 3 each, and let's chop them up again. There we go. Okay, into the pot. Just want to make sure you can see me over there. Can you? Yeah, go. Sometimes I wonder, you know, if we were doing a recorded TV show, of course we could speed this up because there's no reason for you to have to sit through me chopping, etc. But you know, the really great thing about actually seeing me make a whole dish from the beginning to the end is that you can see that it really did not take much time at all. And so if you're sitting through this in live time, I'm not lying to you, and not that they lie to us on recorded TV, but you don't get a real sense of how long it actually takes. So when you're watching me do this live and in person, you can see that it really, the only thing I did not do in front of you is the boiling of the zucchini about 10 minutes in order to get them soft. So, okay, so that is why I love doing this live, because it's a real representation of exactly, and there's no through the magic of television thought here, because I really do it live and in front of you. Oh my gosh. Is that beautiful or is that beautiful? I love this. Oh my gosh, give me a thumbs up. Yes, I would love for you to cook with me. I really would. I'm figuring this out. In fact, so let me ask you a question. I need to take a poll. Thinking about changing the time of dinner with Nanny Bubby to 11:30 in the morning. Here's the reason why. If I did this at 11:30 in the morning, you would have the opportunity to run, especially if I posted the ingredients, to go to the grocery store and buy the ingredients, or have Instacart deliver the ingredients for you during that day, and then you would be able to cook what I cooked when you got home. So there is the 11:30 question, or do we keep it at 3 o'clock? Then I can still post the ingredients, but you'd have to make it probably tomorrow night, especially if you are on the East Coast. So tell me what you think. Either type 3 p.m. or type 11:30 a.m. Tell me what you prefer. This was one of the questions on the poll that I sent out yesterday. And I got a lot of people answer, but come to find out, some of those people that answered are actually bots. So they're really not people. They were bots. Do you know what that means? Bots? It is, you know, computers that are meant to answer questions for whatever reason. I do not know why somebody invented that, because it really serves no good purpose whatsoever. It was disappointing to see that so many were bots this morning. So anyway, makes me not want to do a Google Doc poll. So, okay, so take a look at this. Oh, you can't even see it. I'm just talking away without showing you. So look at that. Okay, so look at how beautiful this is. It goes right into the zucchini. Oh my gosh, I am loving this. It turned out so beautiful. And I love my substitution idea of the seed crackers instead of the sourdough bread, because as I said, in this household, we don't get on too well with gluten. Although we stick with it for all of our favorite holiday recipes, we don't substitute there. But on a daily basis, we try to find substitutes and do without. But I felt like this needed a crouton crunch, and these seed crackers, I think, did a great idea. So, okay, did you write 11:30 or 3 o'clock? I'm talking to all of you. Do I see Tawny Bennett? There you are, Tawny Bennett. Happy New Year. Where have you been, my friend? I have missed you. So happy to have you back. So did you guys hear my question? I'm going to give you just a minute while I grate this amazing Gruyere cheese. Do you think it would be better for Nanny Bubby to do this show at 11:30? Or do you think it would be better to do this show at 3 o'clock? Tell me what you think. You have to type into there. Okay, I have to, let me put this over here. There we go. All right, so now we are going to grate, hi, Tawny, she gave me okay, let's see. So Tawny said 11:30. Okay, Tawny, Tell me why you would prefer 11:30 over 3 o'clock. Tell me. I really, truly need to understand. Lynn Hoge, I hope I'm saying your name right. Everybody, would you give like a heart, type a heart, and welcome Lynn. She just kind of happened onto this Facebook group, and she is loving it. So Teresa says either. So Lynn, since you're new to us, tell us, what would you prefer, 3 o'clock as the show time or 11:30 as the, you often need some of the ingredients, right? Well, I'm sure, I mean, you would need exactly in this recipe. So if I posted it at 11:30, okay, everybody's saying hi to Lynn. Everybody's welcoming Lynn. Everybody send some hearts and love to Lynn. Okay. Let's see. Okay, sending love to Lynn. So Lynn, does that say I don't do it or I do it? I'm not sure. But tell me what you think. I'm going to show you how to grate this Gruyere. So I've seen a lot of 11:30s. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Look at everybody sending love to Lynn. See, we have the best group ever. The best people show up here. We all share. Oh, look at all that love. Oh my God, that's amazing. That is amazing. Thank you so much, whoever is sending that. I can't tell from here who's sending it. Okay, look at this great handy little grater. She is so cute. She's wearing a dress, as you can see, and her dress is a grater. It's got a rubber bottom, so it holds very still. And I found this on my way to a San Francisco Giant game, 11:30. Even my mom says that, but Lynn says 3. Okay, all right, so, well, we have to see. Lynn, you might have to join us at 11:30, or maybe I could do a couple shows at 11:30 and a couple at 3, but I'm better to stick to a strict schedule because I do have life other than this, believe it or not, that I have to take care of. So anyway, here we go. We're going to grate this Gruyere cheese. Here we go. Okay. So look how easy that is. She holds really still. Now, as I had said, I am going to cook the dark meat ground turkey with an onion and garlic and some peppers and mushrooms. And I thought, well, that would have been great to put on this stuffed zucchini. No doubt it would, but I think better, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to mix it all up like it's almost like a hash, and I'm going to take that and put that at the bottom of the platter, and then I'm gonna bake these zucchini and put them on the top of the hash, and everybody's gonna get like a big scoop of the stuffed zucchini on top of the ground turkey burger, and it's just gonna be amazing. What do you think of that? Does that sound like a good idea? I think it does. I'm kind of excited that I thought of that, which is why I love the idea of cooking intuitively, right? Because if you're thinking intuitively and using your instincts, you just kind of come up with things as you go, which kind of to me feels like an artist. Like artists, actually that's how they cook. They are not how they cook, but how they create their art. They think they're gonna sit down and do a painting and they don't know what color they're gonna pick next, or, you know, they just go with what they know. So anyway, okay, so there we go. So there's the Gruyere. Look at that big mound of beautiful Gruyere. Isn't that fabulous? The really great thing about the rubber around this is you can hit this just like that and all of it comes off. So here we go. We're gonna take this. Uh-oh. My dog just came downstairs and he's crying to go out. So you have to give me a minute because he's old and he has cancer and I feel so bad for him. So hold on just a minute. I'm so sorry to do this to you, everybody. Okay, Biggie. Okay, Biggie. Okay, I'm back. I am back. Okay. I mean, there's some things when you're in your own home kitchen that you have to take care of, right? Who's got a puppy? Give me a 1 if you've got a puppy. Give me a thumbs up. Give me something. So, okay, here we go. We're going to take this Gruyere and we're just going to load it right here, just like this, right on top of this zucchini. How amazing does that look? Doesn't that look totally fab? It does, doesn't it? Okay, we're gonna bake this for about 350 for about 35 minutes until the cheese melts and becomes browned. And then I probably will sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it as well. And then after it's done, my turkey will be done at that time, and then I will be able just to take these right out of the oven and put them on top of the ground turkey, put them on a big platter, and serve it. I might even go out into the garden. I noticed today that my red leaf lettuce is just ginormous. There's so much of it. And maybe what we could do is take the red leaf lettuce and rinse it up really good, and put the ground turkey into the red leaf lettuce and just roll it up like turkey roll-ups, but in lettuce leaves, so lettuce wraps. So I think that sounds absolutely fabulous. What do you think? And that's it for today, unless you want to go outside with me and see. Oh, I could show you this. Anybody want to go outside and see my kitchen? Because my kitchen just got installed yesterday, and pretty soon I am going to be cooking from that kitchen. Yes, you guys want to see that? Okay. All right, so watch this. I'm going to turn you around. I took somebody on a tour earlier this morning, so watch this. Okay, we are going out my kitchen door, and this is the outdoor kitchen. There's the refrigerator. Are you loving that? And well, I was just going to try to turn you guys around just a minute. Whoop. No. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to do it. I was going to try to change something, but I don't know how. Okay, so this is the refrigerator. Here we go. This is the outdoor kitchen. Do you see that? Look at that. This is where you're going to find me. This is a griddle. So this whole kitchen, they tell me, is going to be done on Thursday. This is the sink. Right, so the faucet's not even in, but this construction has taken me 11 months. Okay, there's the griddle and burners. So there's 2 burners that go right here. If you can see that. Can you see that? Yep. Okay, there we go. There's the most beautiful barbecue I've ever laid eyes on. This is a huge ice chest. This is a garbage chute. Can you imagine a garbage chute? That is the most exciting thing I've ever seen. This is the fireplace back at the end of the patio. So we'll have a nice table here. These are, this is heat lamps, right? So the table will be right where I am standing. So the heat lamps, when we eat in the winter, will keep us nice and warm. And this is a fireplace that we will put a couch in front of. There is my pool. Look at that. Is that so beautiful? And then this is the garden and our fabulous little fountain here. There we go. Love that. And one of the unintended benefits of building that fireplace is this wall. So this wall was never here before, but it has given, this is our master bedroom, and it has given us just kind of like a little courtyard that we can come out and have privacy. And we'll put the bistro table over there. And here is the garden. So the basil on the north side that never gets sun in the summer has completely wooded out. Is not looking so good, is it? Rosemary, Tuscan kale, collard greens, eggplant has gone dormant for the winter. Look at these San Marzano tomatoes. Could you just die? Look at that. Look how big. Look at that. Can you believe this? Is that amazing? And that's romaine. This is more cherry tomatoes. Let's see, let me show you those. So these did not do so well in 115-degree weather, but they're doing so much better now. And look at this red leaf lettuce. So I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is cut these red leaves. Look at that. Oh, I can't get a good shot of it. See, the camera's backwards. I do that so that Nanny Bubby reads correctly. But look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I can cut so much of this. Here's the sort of red and green in there. Look at that. Beautiful, right? And here's the kale. So we could wrap up in kale. Isn't that gorgeous? And then there's basil on the south side that does see sun about a third of the day. And that has not died as quickly as the one on the north side that doesn't see sun at all. So I'm hanging on to the last every bit of that basil. So that's it, everybody. Did you like it? Give me a yes if you liked it. And we are going to say goodbye. So thank you so much for joining us. I will take pictures tonight of dinner when I serve it, and I will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. when it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And I definitely will look through these scrolls to see who wanted 11:30 and who wanted 3, and I'm just trying to keep things going. Also, I'm about to publish the Happy Spice Cabinet, and when I do, it may be coming out next week. Just trying to get it ready. I've been working on it for a really long time. Many of you contributed your favorite spices to this list, and I got many of them from you. Helped me really focus on what people really love and what they want to see in their spice cabinet. So I will be publishing that next week, hopefully, or the week after, and it's a free download, so it's a free PDF, and it's got, what I did is I put a history of each spice, maybe where it came from originally, what year it was founded. Like cinnamon, as an example, comes from India and was began to go into Europe in the 17th century as part of the spice trade, and what it's good eating on. So there's a lot of helpful tips and tricks in all the spices, and they're the spices that you should have in your spice cabinet so that no matter what you eat, it's really what you cook, you've got them available. You don't like not have something. So anyway, keep an eye out for that. I'll let you know when it's ready. And I'm back inside. And thank you for joining me on Time for Dinner with Nanny Bubby. See you soon.